Hey Glamplanders, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take your ATV that's boring in the dark like this and turn it into this. Thanks again for tuning into the channel. If you haven't, take a moment if you can to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and I would appreciate it. So the first thing we have is our box. The Kemimoto was nice enough to send out. They don't control when I make the videos or what I say, but we do appreciate them for sponsoring and believing in the channel. So thank you, Kemimoto. I've already taken everything out of the box just to make it a little bit easier. So we have the two stars of the show, the 36-inch whips. The reason I'd already taken it open is because I had asked for, they'd asked me what mounts I needed for my ATV. So I did want to make sure these work before I unbox them here on camera. And these work perfectly. So you get the two mounts, the two whips, you get a remote control for your controller box. They send you a couple of flags that you can mount on the whips. And then you get what you wire into your ATV. And then if you have a different application, it does come with these mounts that you can kind of screw on like that. Awesome. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to try to kind of give a step-by-step, very basics of how to wire these up on your ATV and kind of how to install them. So let's get started. So I'm inserting a blooper reel in the middle of the video. So at one point when I thought I had hit record, I accidentally hit pause. So as I was editing the video, I realized we have a problem. So right now, the thing that was going on in the video is I was removing the rear rack of the ATV. I removed the two-up seat, and then I removed the seat, and then got up to the battery for my ATV. So I couldn't figure out a way to edit what I had and make it make sense. So know that when I go off this camera, that we're coming right back to the original video with all of this removed. Sorry. Okay, so I've taken some time and I have made a harness. So what I want to do is, because I know a lot of times in videos, so I'm going to go to a separate camera. So for me, my battery is going to be up here in the front. So looking at the front of my ATV, so my battery is here. So what I had to do is, so I'm taking I had some wire laying around the garage. So what I've done is made my battery positive and negative, and then I have it back to where it's going to run through the ATV, and then it's going to connect up to my Kemimoto harness. So I didn't want any steps missed, because I know sometimes you wonder how people did it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to figure out how to run this. So we're going to pull off some plastics, and then I will run this cable, and then we'll get these all butted up and watertight. So hold on, we'll be back. Okay, so now that I have my wire, what we're going to do now is we're actually going to pull some of the plastic pieces off here so we can route this wire. Okay, so after pulling some plastics off, I can see some daylight up by my battery, and I have a nice little fishing stick here, so we're going to pull the wire through. All right, so now we're going to work on getting this cable routed. All right, so looking at the plastic rack, I do believe this will just fit underneath there with no problem. We'll just zip tie this up to the thing, up to the rack. All right, so at least in the CF Moto, the wire routes really nicely along the plastic sleeve, which I believe should keep us from having to run too many zip ties. Do any kind of working on electronics, one thing I do recommend is these heat shrink butt connectors. You can pick these up on Amazon, and just a really good way to make a good solid connection. Heat them down, and then you feel pretty good about it being waterproof. All right, check your connections there. All right, now I'm going to get an extension cord and get my heat gun out and heat shrink these up. So I have my power wires tied into my control unit. So now I'm gonna go up, hook up the battery, and then we'll give them a test before we get everything mounted up. So we have our fuse in, powered up. Everything should be powered to here. So I believe we should be able to give them a test and see if everything works. All right, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but we have our light working. All right, so let's double check the other one before we get it all mounted. All right, the test is, everything is up working. So now I'm just gonna go work on cleaning up the wires, get the front all fixed up, all buttoned up, and then we'll come back and finish up the install in the back. Okay, so then everything is done up front. We just gotta put the plastics back on. Battery is good. So I just wanna zip tie, I think, this controller. So I need to start thinking about our wiring. All right, we're getting ready to the end. One of the last things we got to do is put our mounts on here for our whip lights. All right, for a little pro look, make sure you have your Kemimoto logo on the back there so folks can see it. Yeah, so we run the power connection up through there. All right, we'll get this rack fastened back down. Okay, now for the final, and these pop right on here, like that. All right, there we go. See if we can get them turned back on. Where'd the remote go? Hope we can see that on camera. We'll have some better shots at night. I'm gonna get this, the plastics button backed up, and we'll see you once it gets dark.